One of the biggest complaints of new coaching clients is I don't have time. For that, I'm going to tell you today how you can reclaim an hour a day. The first thing to understand is that as the CEO of your law firm, you need to have time to work on your business. I know it's cliche, I know people throw it around, but the reality is if you're not focusing on the growth of your business, you're gonna stay stagnant or decline. The only time you're moving forward is when you're focusing on it. The good news is working on your business doesn't have to be a full-time job. As a matter of fact, if you just spend 1 hour a day working on the growth of your business at the CEO level, that is all you need to have a massively successful, profitable law firm. So how do you free up an hour a day? Well, we start with the DAD method. DAD stands for delete, automate, delegate. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the things you're doing and we're going to identify what can be deleted or stop doing it, what can be automated, and what can be delegated. The first thing you need to do is to take inventory of where you're spending your time. Track your activities. Now, the one thing that you can do easily is take a piece of paper and a pen, and every time you start doing something, write it down. The problem is, if you don't have time, you're probably not going to have the time to do even that. So there's a device you can buy that makes this really easy. It's called the Timular, and we'll link up in the description below where you can get it. The Timular is an 8-sided device, and depending on which side you're on, it tracks how much time you're spending on that side. You assign whatever you want to each side. So you take your top 8 activities, assign it to each side, and then you can get a clear tracking over the course of a day or a week to see where your time is going. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to rate the activities that you're spending time on. You're going to put it in a spreadsheet and you're going to make 3 columns. The first column is the time spent. That's how much time am I spending on this activity over a period of time. The second column is expertise, and this is a scale of 1 to 5. I want to know, am I an expert in this activity? 1 being, I'm not an expert. 5 being, I'm a rock star. The third column is desire. And this is how much do I want to do this activity? When the desire is low, it gets a 1. When the desire is high, it gets a 5. Now we have a numeric way of calculating the winners. Our winners are the ones that have the lowest score because they're the ones that we're going to get off of our plate. So what we're going to do is we're going to total the score of the last 2 columns, the desire and the expertise. And a number 2 is going to be the lowest score we can have. Anything that's a 2 is going to be the first things we look at delegating. What happens if you have a tie? Which is going to happen. So I've got 5 tasks that are all rated a number 2. Well, that's why we identified time spent, because I want to take the ones I'm spending the most time on first. That's going to move the needle the most for me. So what I want to do is I want to take the number 2s I'm spending the most time on, and now for every single winner, we're going to take the DAD method and apply it. Can I delete this? Can I just stop doing it? Is it necessary? If I need to be doing it, can I automate it? Is there a way that we can make this happen automatically? And then finally, if I can't automate it, can I delegate it? The answer is yes, everything can be delegated. So how do I delegate it? Well, I now need to consider that. When a law firm owner thinks about delegation, the first thing you think about is, oh, I need to hire another attorney. What I'm going to invite you to do is to think about delegating from the ground up. In other words, look for really inexpensive helpers that can do the really easy things. For example, managing your calendar or bookkeeping. We can look at offshore virtual assistants as an option for your law firm. You can go to the Philippines and find somebody for maybe $2 or $3 an hour. Problem with the Philippines is often time zone differences and how strong the English language is. We work with a partner called Get Staffed Up. You can learn more at profitwithlaw.com/get staffed up. And there you can get a virtual assistant for $1,850 a month. And that virtual assistant can be English speaking, in your time zone, and well educated. Look at your sheet. Look at how much time you're going to be able to free up by delegating just a few of the tasks that are on there. Will it be at least an hour a day? Most likely the answer is yes. Now I invite you to think about what that hour a day might be worth to you. At the attorney level, at a minimum, it's worth $300 to $500 an hour. At the CEO level, it's worth a lot more than that. Before you go, now that you've identified an extra hour a day that you're going to have to spend in the CEO role, why not subscribe to this YouTube channel where we're sharing constantly amazing tips and tricks for you to be a better CEO at your law firm. So if you reach the end of this video, you perform the exercise, and you now have an extra hour a day, and you want to finally step into that CEO role, but you don't know what CEO activities you should be doing, I invite you to check out the Elite Coaching Program, where I help law firm owners step through the law firm growth formula and understand how to map out their strategy and their plan to law firm growth and profitability. Check it out at profitwithlaw.com/elite.